Hey everybody, today we have a special mailer video, and normally we're doing this in fun and in jest, but we gotta address an issue, so let's get into it. More traffic, massive overdevelopment. That's Manatee County's future with Connerly, Green, or Tatum. Now I'm not going to talk about Connerly and Tatum today. Let's look at Richard Green. Supports President Biden's open border immigration plan so developers have more workers. And you will see it in number 2. So let's go over here and you will see a link to a video, Green statement at the LWRRC monthly luncheon with HD 72 candidates. Now what's interesting is I don't know if that's an actual link to the specific moment, but we'll look at that in a minute. I've taught you all how to do these mailers, so let's take a look at it. We come here and we see paid electioneering communication paid for by Conservatism Counts. So let's get into that. Now, Conservatism Counts is chaired by this guy, and he runs a kind of consulting firm, but here's some information on him. But the main thing is he is known for creating dozens of political action committees that have spent millions of dollars in Florida state elections. So talk about dark money, talk about special interests. And you have to take it on faith that this individual is working with one of my opponents, not Bill Connerly and not Colonel Tatum. And that opponent is being helped by this PAC, Fight for Florida, that's got $1.2 million in donations, all of which is from developers. Now, at that same LWRRC meeting that they mentioned in their mailer, the question was asked by the moderator to all 4 candidates, will your campaign be funded by special interest groups? And if so, who? And something along those lines. And the first 3 candidates, my opponents, each of them, avoided answering that question. They wouldn't tell you who their special interests were, even though some of them already knew. But my opponents wouldn't tell you that they were being funded by certain groups and what those groups were going to be doing and how they're going to be spamming everybody's mailboxes with mailer after mailer after mailer. And I answered that question directly because I'm not funded at all by developers. I'm not funded by any special interest groups at all. You can look at my information. There is no special interest group backing me up. I have no dark money PACs or special interest groups sending you mailers on my behalf. So let's talk about this mailer's claim that I support the Biden's open border policy. Okay, so at LWRRC, the question was asked of all of the candidates that in our press releases, every one of us mentioned that we're going to crack down on illegal immigration. And the moderator made the point that this is a state legislative job. It is not a federal position, and that immigration is a federal issue. It is not a state house issue. And in fact, when states try to get involved in illegal immigration, the courts strike down all of those laws. So the moderator said this, not me. And so he's saying, challenging each one of the candidates, why are you talking about an issue that is not at your level? It is not for the job. And that's where the first of my opponents, the person that, not Connerly, not Colonel Tatum, gets up and makes mention that there are hundreds of thousands of immigrants, legal immigrants, coming across the border into Florida and into Manatee County every single day. And that they're going to, maybe they can't do something legislatively, but they're going to do whatever they can so that, the sheriffs can do their job and all that type of thing. And then I came up and this is what I had to say. Press release or on my platform. Because I am going to be a state legislator and I'm not going to be legislating on whether or not what constitutes illegal or legal immigration. What I can tell you is that a lot of people like to use that as a buzzword to scare you, to make you think that hundreds of thousands of people are crossing the border every day. And so action is taken. And what happens when action is taken at the state level? It's like what we saw last year. People who are here legally, who want to be here legally, are afraid. And so they leave. And then what happens? Developers can't find people who want to do work. Farmers can't find people who want to work. And so what happens to us? Our costs go up. I'd like to approach that issue, how can we solve the problem? Not just say, I'm going to build a wall. Where? I don't know. Instead, I like to talk about the people who actually want to be here and work here. And how can they stay here? Forgive me, I had to change because of the baby, but no matter. Okay, so now what I wasn't able to fit into that video starting out was that I mentioned that I made no comments about illegal immigration in my press release because it's not part of the job. And then you saw my answer. And remember, the person who went before me, the person who's behind the mailer basically, said that there are hundreds of thousands of illegals coming into Florida and Manatee County every single day. So that's the context of my answer. I made no mention of Biden. I made no mention of supporting the open border policies or any of that nonsense. Okay, so the mailer's just intentionally misleading you. I did say that the actions taken by the legislature had the effect of scaring away legal migrants from, yes, developers, but also farmers. And that actually happened in Manatee County. So 2 ways the mailer was intentionally misleading you. But let's just draw the line in the sand. Let's just cut to the chase. If illegal immigration is your issue for these races that are on the ballot on August 20th, you got 4 people in this race. You can pick any one of the other 3 who've all promised to end illegal immigration. And they will say that to you to pander to you, to make you seem like it's going to happen or something. I don't know. But they know full well it ain't going to happen. But, hey, if illegal immigration is your thing and you want somebody to tell you they're going to end it, I'm not your guy. Because I'm not going to say what you want to hear just to get your vote. I'm going to tell you the truth, even if that means it's going to chase you off to somebody else. Because I think that's what politics, that's what the Republican Party needs. We need conservatives who are going to tell you the truth no matter what the consequences. The electorate should have people they can trust. Go figure. But just in case you're wondering, no, I don't support the open border policy. I have been a proponent for the wall since it was campaigned on. And I was very critical of Congress when in 2016 they had the presidency, the House, and the Senate, and they failed to fund the wall immediately. I fully support our Border Patrol. They should be fully funded to do the job they are tasked to do. But none of that has to do with the state of Florida legislature. Now, you all watching this, you guys are trained up in this. You're experts now. You've gone through mailer school. You know how to look up PACs. So I know that a lot of this is not a shock to you. But if you see something and you want to say something to people who are saying, Richard Green's a rhino because he supports the open border, whatever the nonsense is, you can let them know that, hey, there's one person out of 4 people, there's one person in that race who's not backed by dark money PACs, who's not backed by special interest groups, who's not backed by developers. He is one man, a family man. He and his wife are running this race on a grassroots campaign, trying to bring truth and messaging back to politics. And if that makes me a rhino, so be it. If that chases people away because they don't want that, come what may. And if I lose this race because I wasn't willing to pander, trust me when I say I'm asleep just fine. Early voting's out. Go get it done.